right, guys, welcome to the Week 2 feature matchup this week, and it's going to be between the Detroit Dracozolts and the Massachusetts Meltans. And I'll start talking about the Detroit Dracozolts first. This team looks absolutely scary at the top. I think we talked about this before in the previous power rankings video for everybody, the tier list. And I just think Calyrex is absolutely scary and terrifying. Garchomp is a great partner for it. Tapu Fini really comes in clutch so that Calyrex can't be burned. And then you got Venusaur and Torkoal in the back, and then Porygon 2 to set up Trick Room. You got Scrafty in there for the fake out to help Trick Room setups. And then in the back, I'm not sure what you're going to really be doing with Skarmory, Boldore, Elekid, and Ghastly, but those first 7 look like the most realistic brings overall. In this case, there are a few things to worry about from the Massachusetts Meltan side, but I'll let Spades talk about that team right there.
Yes, hello everyone and welcome. So, the Massachusetts Meltans have a very top-heavy team approaching battle today, with Dialga, Rillaboom, Grimmsnarl, Regigigas, Weezing, Marowak Alola, and Articuno Galar, as well as Abra, Applin, Axew, and Sliggoo. So, it's going to be a combination of the first 7, I think, for probably both teams. But those first 7 are both very, very strong.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think, Dialga's probably a definite bring to counter Calyrex Ice. It's going to take hits very well from Venusaur. And it takes hits okay from Torkoal too. So there's not really a reason not to bring Dialga in this matchup at all. And so I expect to see it being a big part of this. Grimmsnarl looks pretty good here. It needs to watch out for Tapu Fini. With potential Moonblast in there, but Grimmsnarl really is just a setup Mon. I'm curious to see how the Detroit Dracozolts handle, what their lead would be, knowing that there's a Regigigas Weezing on the other side.
Right, and I think what this matchup will come down to is, can the Detroit Dracozolts position Garchomp against Dialga? Because that seems to be one of the and Venusaur as well, but Dialga is the threat here. Regigigas is too, but I see Dialga as being what you need to answer, or else this thing will get out of control.
Yeah, definitely. And so we're going to find out really soon here what these guys decide to bring. And I'm excited. I think this is a tough matchup against 2 very good teams. And 2 just very
absolutely agree.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get right to it.
Let's kick it to the matchup.
Yeah.
All right. So we are into game 1, and spoiler alert, it's April Fool's Day, so we get these annoying sprites. But I will say, we got most of the teams right.
Yeah, this looks exactly like what we were talking about. I don't think there's any surprises here except for the fact that I don't know what some of these Pokemon are because I can't tell what the sprites look like.
Yeah. Leave a comment below which sprite you think is the funniest and which one is just the most outrageous. We'd really like to know this.
Yes.
Anyways, let's get into game 1.
All right.
I expect from Odie to probably do Grimmsnarl again. He led that in his first set, so I expect that again. And Max Watts does so many different things with his teams, so it's really hard to predict what he'll do.
Yeah, and he starts off with Porygon Scrafty, so it looks like he's going to go for a Trick Room set.
And we see Dialga Grimmsnarl, which is how Odie led the last time. So we might be going into Trick Room here.
Yeah, we might be going to Trick Room, unless maybe Dialga could reverse Trick Room, but I'm not so sure. Does Grimmsnarl have Taunt maybe? So does Scrafty fake out Grimmsnarl? Or does it fake out Dialga? And that's an interesting choice right there.
I probably expect the Dialga max. Getting defense or Spadef boosts is what I could see happening.
Yeah.
Scrafty's taking out Grimmsnarl 100% here.
Okay.
I think that's pretty obvious.
All right. Yeah.
Maybe not, though.
Yeah. I think you're right, though. Getting Dialga those defense boosts is important. But he actually chooses to switch out to Articuno. And Grimmsnarl does get flinched, like you said. And actually, Max Watts goes for a Dry Attack. So no Trick Room, yeah.
Yeah. Also, I have my candidate for most outrageous sprite.
Is it
But what is that Articuno?
Oh man.
Oh Lord.
This is a flashback to The Incredibles. Oh, and there's the taunt from Grimmsnarl. And the air slash
Okay.
into Scrafty. Oh, and the flinch. Alright.
Yeah.
Another try
So
attack from Porygon.
yeah, this Porygon is just doing damage here, which is fine. I'm not sure what your game plan in the back is then. Like
Yeah,
it looks like with this lead, you have Cali Ice in the back, which wants Tailwind up, or not Tailwind, Trick Room up. So I'm very confused actually.
yeah, I'm wondering if he was just worried that Porygon 2 was either going to get taunted or Articuno was going to go for like an Imprison or something to prevent Trick Room from going up. So there might have been a couple counters there. He was just trying to play around that. But so
Yeah,
far, he's just collecting damage, and that doesn't hurt, especially when you haven't used your Dynamax yet.
exactly. Yeah, getting the most out of your damage is very important in this format.
Oh, wow, and Scrafty gets the kill on Articuno, and Porygon is just slowly chipping away at Grimmsnarl.
Yeah. So we have a trade here of Scrafty for Articuno, which I think that favors the Detroit Dracozolts more because you didn't want Scrafty in.
Mhm.
You wanted a more impactful, heavier hitter in, which
Yeah,
Garchomp is that heavier hitter. So
yeah. And actually, maybe it was smart not to set up Trick Room now that they're bringing out Garchomp. Garchomp
yeah,
could
that's
be a
fair.
great counter to, and it got smaller with, they both got smaller with Dynamax. And
April Fool.
yeah, and it Garchomp goes for the Max Quake, and Dialga just takes it
Oh,
out with a crit Max Wormwind. Wow, that is some
that's
serious
brutal.
unluckiness right there.
I think that just killed the game.
Yeah,
Oh, maybe not.
I think you
It's gonna
gotta
be very difficult here for the Dracozolts.
yeah, I think you might have to protect Calyrex and Trick Room, but is that play too obvious? And if Rillaboom has Fake Out, right, then it doesn't really
Mm-hmm.
matter. A Max Steel Spike is also just going to help Dialga and Rillaboom with their defenses to help survive a Calyrex attack. Although I'm going to guess Rillaboom can't really take a Glacial Lance.
No,
Oh, there's the Fake Out.
and this is the exact play that you just lined up.
Yeah,
Yep.
and there it is. Oh, but Calyrex has a weakness policy, so that could change things up a little bit.
Well, not for this game. You need a double protect into setting up Trick Room, which
Mhm.
is not impossible, but
It's not likely.
I think, yeah, that's the only way I see that he comes back here.
Yeah, and he also has a reflect up from earlier, so I'm not sure
Mm-hmm.
if Max Watts is going to be able to get game one, but at the very least, maybe he can pick out some information, figure out some attacks that Rillaboom has and Dialga has, and then use that to his advantage in game two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And he did go for the double, which was his only move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there goes Calyrex, and that will probably seal up this game. And Porygon finally gets Trick Room off, but there's nobody to use it.
Mm-hmm. And like that's what we were saying about the first turn, where instead of going for fake out Trick Room, he went for the try attack.
Yep. Oh, and Porygon's going to use Recover, so it's going to try and just wait it out here. But yeah, I mean, Rillaboom has Drain Punch in this game, so that doesn't look like it's going to really work out for him at all.
No, Porygon doesn't win 2v1s,
It can,
especially against Dialga and Rillaboom.
probably not this time, but I believe someday Porygon 2.
See, this position happened in Blackie last week, but there was no Rillaboom. It was just Dialga versus P2.
Ah.
I bet you everyone was just rooting for the P2. Anyways, we do see the P2 does go down. So a 2-0 victory on game one for Odie.
Yeah, good game, good game. All right.
All right, we got game two here. Wonder, will we see different leads from either of these two, do you think?
Yeah, I think we should see something different, or at least in this time around, I would like to see Max Watts be more aggressive with trying to get Trick Room set up. Maybe you don't need a different lead, but I think Calyrex and Garchomp are the good Pokemon to bring. I don't know if Garchomp was. I feel like Garchomp was probably EV'd to survive a Max Wormwind from Dialga, and that crit probably made a difference. So I'm curious to see if he actually decides to change it up. I think he might go with the same route. It didn't feel like he was losing the battle early on. Um, I just think
Mhm.
he needs to be a little bit more aggressive in this game.
Right. I kind of want to see Sun here as much as it is. Oh, I guess not against using
Oh wow,
Regigigas.
and Odie just goes
Oh
for
my.
Regigigas Wheezing. Oh my gosh. Oh, is this gonna be bad? I don't know if does Porygon survive a max strike here from Regigigas?
Yeah, it does.
It does. Okay. Well,
Actually, this is a very favorable lead
yeah.
for the Max Watts and the Dragons because you can just fake out Weezing and get Trick Room up for free.
Right. Okay.
Gigas isn't killing Porygon, so you're getting your Trick Room up, which is
Yeah.
what you want.
Yeah, and there's the fake out into Wheezing. And there's the max strike actually into Scrafty. Wow, that does not do very much to Scrafty, surprisingly. Scrafty, very
Mm-mm.
bulky.
Yep,
Bulky
and then
boy.
there's the Trick Room. So now, step 1 is done. Trick Room up.
Yep.
Step 2, use it.
Yeah, and they got their speeds lowered too. So I think they were going to be both slower anyways. Maybe not
Mhm.
against Wheezing, but definitely against Regigigas. So I'm curious to see what Porygon goes for here. Maybe it has Foul Play. That would be nice tech to have against Regigigas. But yeah, I don't really know what they're gonna go for here. Does Scrafty go for like a
Yeah,
close combat into Regigigas here, just to
that's
do
what
some
I'm
damage?
thinking. Max Guard.
There's Tri Attack and close combat right into
Ooh,
Regigigas. But that was a good max guard, and Sludge Bomb doesn't
yes.
really do anything to Scrafty. But it is wasting away Trick Room turns, so there's only 3
Yeah,
left. So
exactly.
you kind of wanted Scrafty to die, and so you're losing Trick Room turns on one side, but you're also waiting out their Dynamax. So it's kind of like it's an even trade, I would say.
Yeah, I think what is more important though is the Dynamax is going to end this
Hmm.
turn. So if Scrafty goes down and the Max goes down, that works out so much better for you because you get to come in with a Dynamax of your own.
Yeah, I would target if I was Odie, I'd target Porygon 2 with both moves. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yep,
That
perfect.
same like thing we wanted was all right. We want to get our threat in.
Hmm.
Here we don't have our threat in.
Yeah, and I assume in this case Porygon will probably recover just to stick around, and I expect it to try and set up Trick Room again later on or something like that. Maybe we'll see. I could be very wrong. I have been.
Yeah, I think Porygon revealed Tri Attack, Recover, and Trick Room so far,
Mhm.
right?
Yep. So it looks like a pretty standard set so far, and then there's the recover, and there's a close combat into Regigigas. Oh, and Weezing actually just will-o-wisp Scrafty to just
This is
waste another
so
turn.
smart.
This is,
Like you did waste your max, but you wasted all the turns of Trick Room,
yep,
and then
exactly.
you can Weezing can taunt P2, and then Trick Room won't go up for the rest of
Yeah,
the game.
yeah. This is a great way to play this out. We're definitely in here for the long haul, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Weezing finally does go down, so actually that takes away the taunt that I was mentioning.
yeah, yeah. And Regigigas does get the slow start. So it is slower now, but after lowering Scrafty and Porygon 2 speed, they're going to still be
Mm-hmm.
slower than it now that it's outside of Trick Room. Now, is there a way to get Porygon 2 to not? Oh, and Rillaboom comes in, and we know Rillaboom has Fake Out, so
Mm-hmm.
might be able to get just uh, another couple of turns without Trick Room and maybe take out Porygon 2. I'm curious to
I
see
want to
how.
switch out Gigas at this point. I think Gigas is not going to do a whole lot at the moment. If we want to really stop Trick Room, yeah, we need to go into Dialga.
Yeah, and actually, he just goes for a straight Drain Punch and the Ice Punch, but the Ice Punch does absolutely nothing. And I think Trick Room's coming back up right here.
Yep.
Yep,
And I
and
think this is what's going to seal the game for Max Watts. He still has a max. He actually still has all 4 of his Pokemon.
mhm.
And, yeah, it's looking real bad for OD here.
Yeah, it does not look good at all. But this is if he gets this, Max is going to get a good comeback here, and we'll have a sweet game 3. And there's the Grassy Glide into Porygon 2, and Regigigas really just protecting every time Scrafty tries to close combat. I feel like that's the third protected
Yeah.
close combat he's had.
Oh,
And here comes
here it
Calyrex
is.
to just finish up this game.
Yeah, Glacial Lance will blow back both of these Pokemon.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't think there's much Odie's going to be able to do here. I'm trying to think through what other options does he have.
I mean,
What's
he can consider game 3 options.
yeah, or what maybe Dialga can survive an attack and get something off on Calyrex, but this just looks so dangerous.
Protect on Rillaboom is really nice,
Yeah,
actually.
and that's good to know. Now we know. Well, we know Rillaboom's not AV now, right? Because of the protect. So
Yes,
that's
that does show that. It's
that.
probably a Miracle Seed at that point, then.
Yeah, I think so. But I'd be curious to find out. Maybe we can ask him afterwards. All right, and there's a Grassy Glide and a Calyrex, and a Snarl from Scrafty. And Glacial Lance, wow,
And
is just broken.
he's not even going to max this game. He doesn't have to.
No, I don't think he has to. I think that move is just broken. Calyrex has his weakness policy procced. Unfortunately, that Flash Cannon is not enough to kill, but man, did that Glacial Lance just absolutely hurt. All right, and there it goes. Calyrex finishes it off, and we're off to game number 3.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so here we are at game number 3, and this is going to be a very interesting game number 3, considering Odie went with a different method or matchup in game 2, and Max Watts just stayed the same, and it actually worked out. So I'm curious to see what your thoughts here are, Spades.
If I'm Max Watts, I'm not changing anything. I think I go with the same 2 again. It works. You clearly have a plan against what your opponent brought for the Gigas. Can you beat the Grimmsnarl and Dialga? That's what is the main question. I think that's what Odie's going to go back to, because I think he is more comfortable with that lead than the Weezing Regigigas. So I expect that, and I think Max will adjust to what was game 1. Maybe.
Yeah,
we'll
see.
Oh, it's Articuno.
It's actually Grimmsnarl Articuno, and I'm curious what
he's... Same lead, but
he gets the competitive boost.
Exactly.
And now, do you just max Articuno and just start destroying? I mean, I don't see why not. Is there any... I don't see anything in the back that could take max Airstreams from Articuno. The only concern is, Porygon 2 surviving and setting up Trick Room.
Yeah, this looks like fake out Trick Room and hope one of you and then hope if you kill Scrafty here kind of mindlessly, they go into Cali Ice and win the game. So you have to be careful again. This lead isn't that threatening.
Yeah.
Oh, flinch.
And he's
going for the flinch.
Oh,
he did not get it.
He did not get the flinch.
Okay, so now we're in the stall out Trick Room game.
Yeah, and Scrafty here can take a big chunk out of Articuno's health.
Crunch, yes.
Yep. Crunch is going to do a lot of damage if he decides to go that route. Oh, and Articuno protects. Smart. Okay. And there's a taunt on the Porygon 2. And the crunch into Articuno. All right.
I would have actually liked to see Reflect this turn and then Crunch and then Taunt the following turn. Just because Taunt's, P2 is going to attack this turn.
Yeah, and Taunt's going to end the same turn that Trick Room ends. So it's not going to be that useful. But it does prevent Porygon 2 from using Recover, which can be helpful.
Yeah. Spirit Break does half.
And Crunch takes out Articuno, unfortunately.
But, talk about momentum. Now we go into Dialga.
Yes. And maybe this is the time to start setting up the screen. Actually, he goes into Rillaboom.
Or Rillaboom. Yeah, you just Grassy Glide this Scrafty. Protect. You're out of Trick Room. You taunt the Porygon.
Yeah.
And everything's fine.
Or does he just go after the Porygon to take it out so it can't set up Trick Room again? And Calyrex only gets 1 turn under Trick Room. So that's a trade-off you can make as well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Grimmsnarl probably goes after Scrafty again, if I'd have to guess. So maybe you go Grassy Glide P2 and Spirit Break. Next turn, protect the Rillaboom. Go for Reflect on Grimmsnarl. Go into Dialga out of Trick Room, and then go for your max Steel Spikes.
Yeah, I think that could be the way to do it. All right, well, we'll see what they do. Oh, and he actually just straight Max Watts straight switches into Calyrex Ice, and he predicts the fake out onto it, which is a really smart move. The Spirit Break, you're right, the Spirit Break does come in and take out Scrafty here. And then Porygon too,
Nice.
right back out there.
Back into Porygon.
Yep, and not taunted this time. Although,
Yeah, Rillaboom's going to protect, and I think Grimmsnarl is going to taunt the P2. That's what this play is.
oh, and actually, Grimmsnarl reflects actually. And actually, that reflect
they
comes in
live?
clutch.
But it's gonna die to
But
that.
Porygon too
Yeah.
actually just tries attacks. Oh man.
This is not good for Odie here.
No, but
Actually, you could double the P2 and kill it.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Which I think is okay. I think it should be enough.
Yeah, Max Steel Spike the P2 and Grassy Glide should pick up the knockout, and Chirkrum's not going back up. So you have speed and defense boost.
Yeah, and then it'll be 1v2, but you do have a Max Dialga against a Calyrex and a +1
Max
defense.
Calyrex, it's gonna be.
I think so, but I would expect to see Garchomp in the back here too. So that's another win condition for Max Watts. He might be pulling off the comeback here. Really showing his skills. And Dialga Dynamaxed into a smaller version of Dialga. And there's the Max
Wormwind.
Oh, and that lowers Calyrex's attack. Actually, I really like that. And Rillaboom survives because of the reflect.
I think the Steel Spike would have been better. I think raising your own stats is better than lowering your opponent's stats. But maybe he was trying to predict a switch. I don't think that's likely. Well, you were right. Garchomp is in the back.
Yeah, you're right. He could have been predicting the switch, just making sure to cover for if Garchomp just got switched out somehow and just take an easy kill, Yeah. All right. So this is interesting because I'm not sure if you want to Dynamax Garchomp or Calyrex. I feel like, with Calyrex being -1 attack and also having a dual hitting move or a move that hits both Pokemon, that's probably the way to go. Is just to Dynamax Garchomp and use a Max Wormwind or something into Dialga, or Max Quake into Dialga and try to take it out.
Yeah. As well as, I guess, you don't want to max Calyrex if it's minus attack. Like, that feels counterintuitive. But
I mean, it could be a move. Calyrex is super duper powerful, so
you
never know. You never know. And they are taking their time here, so this is absolutely a critical turn. As we're just
absolutely, because you have to get this turn right for both players. Whoever gets the turn right wins this game. So
yeah, definitely. I'm excited to see which Pokemon goes super small. And there's Garchomp. And Garchomp actually max guards, and Rillaboom projects as well.
Oh my god! That's like I said.
That was
whoever gets the turn right.
Yep. And that was a read because Dialga gets basically a free Max Wormwind right into Calyrex.
And now you get Grassy Glide into Calyrex, which will probably protect, and you get to Max Dragon the Garchomp.
Yeah. And I think Odie actually might have just come back with that turn. Holy moly.
Yeah, that was a huge turn.
What a read. That is a heck of a play. And
there's the Grassy Glide.
The
Max Quake does nothing.
Although Garchomp does get the special defense boost, and it stays alive.
Yeah, that shows the crit last game didn't matter.
Yeah.
Because I think that Dialga is special most of the time anyway. So yeah, that's a wrap. 2-1 to Odie in the Massachusetts Meltans. What an impressive game. What an impressive set between these two.
Yeah, that was really, really impressive. And yeah, down goes Garchomp. All right, congrats to Odie.
Yeah.
All right, and there it is.
And we're doing something special this time, guys. We're not just cutting back to the screen. We have both of them on voice for a post-game interview.
Yep. And we will be right back with that. All right, so we're here at the post-game match, or the post-game interviews between Max Watts and Odie. And I really just want to, well, first introduce yourselves.
So hi, I'm Odie, captain of the Massachusetts Meltans team. What's
And,
up, guys?
I've
I'm
been-
Max for the Detroit Dracozolts. Oh, sorry about that. I thought you were done.
You're all good?
It's all good. It's all good. All right, guys. So I really want to get your guys' perspective on what you were prepping for the match. So I'll start with Odie first, and then we'll go to you, Max, right after. So what were you prepping for Max Watts' team, Odie, and then what were you kind of thinking?
Yeah, so I thought there were kind of three things that were most alarming for me. I think one was obviously like the Torkoal Venusaur, and I know Max was running Yawn in his previous match, so they both had a sleep threat. So, for example, I put Lumberry on my Regigigas, and I had safety goggles on my Articuno Galar, and I had a lightning move on Dialga, so I could activate the electric terrain if needed. So I was probably over prepped for that, given we didn't see any sleep shenanigans. Also, I obviously prepped for Trick Room mode, so I had Taunt, which Max countered with Fake Out. So he did a really good job kind of countering my prep on that.
Mm-hmm.
I had Taunt on Weezing, obviously, and Taunt on Grimmsnarl. And I know Max has done really well with Porygon too, like last time and this time. And then lastly, Scrafty, I knew it's just like a bulky monster, right? So I was like, I got to have Spirit Break on Grimmsnarl, and that wasn't even enough. Like it barely two-shot the thing. So that was kind of the last thing I was worried about.
Yeah,
Cool. So, Max Watts, how did you approach this matchup from what you saw the Meltans brought to the table?
Well, basically, just the Reggie Weezing lead or the Grimmsnarl Dialga lead, pretty much is what I was going to try to counter. So basically, for the Reggie Weezing, just Porygon Scrafty, guaranteed trick him up unless he would crit. And then I also like that in the Dialga and Grimmsnarl. Is my audio better now?
yeah, it's pretty clear.
That's fine. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It was I think it's in my ears, then it sounds funny. Probably just one of your guys, but
Yeah, we think you
so
sound
then-
beautiful, so you're all good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so then for the Dialga Grimmsnarl, I was kind of worried about like fake tears with the Dialga,
Mm-hmm.
So then I probably would have gone for Fake Out and then maybe Max Strike into the Grimmsnarl to try to eliminate it that way or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yes.
Max Strike as in you're going to max your P2? Is that
Yeah,
what-
I love maxing Porygon too.
Oh, you hear that, guys? Everybody else in the league, be prepared. Max Porygon 2 is
Yeah.
Didn't happen today, but it's one I definitely like to max Porygon too.
Yeah, don't worry. You'll have 6 more weeks to do that, and potentially
Yeah.
more in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most likely.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that what was really interesting is that, Odie, I think you did a really good job of like trying to get Trick Room up, or sorry, waiting out Trick Room, basically.
Stalling out Trick
Stalling
Room,
out Trick Room and just waiting out those turns and not attacking into, like in game 1, you really didn't attack into Scrafty, but you started attacking into Porygon 2 to stall out the Trick Room turns. And I thought that was like a pretty good move by you. Was that, I assume that was kind of your plan the entire time, like is just like wait out Trick Room or just wait out the turns and then try to get your guys into the right position there.
Yeah, the last thing I wanted to do was give him a free switch into that Calyrex and Glacial Lances and it's GG,
Yeah, no, definitely. And then Max, like at the end, we thought that we were trying to decide whether you were going to max Garchomp or Calyrex, and we were thinking like Garchomp probably would be the right move, and you would just max Quake into Dialga, but obviously Dialga is pretty bulky, so you're just trying to make sure that it survived an attack, I assume, from like Garchomp survived an
The
attack from
Dialga.
Dialga.
Yeah, I was debating Wormwinding the Rillaboom or going after the Dialga because I knew if he glided and Wormwind in the Garchomp it would go down.
Mm.
So that's why I went for Max Guard. Just trying to call out he would double up Garchomp, but he did not.
Yeah, that turn was so crucial to the entire game. It was whoever got that turn right took the set, which
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
I would say from my perspective, it was like more psychological. I was hoping Max was scarred from that unfortunate turn game one crit where the Garchomp went down. It was like, you could probably get max guard Garchomp. And I was like, worst comes to worst, I dropped the attack to half attack on Calyrex. And, one stage on Garchomp. And I wanted to keep my Rillaboom alive for some late game glides. But I was actually running out of grassy terrain, so I was kind of weighing, like, what was the right move there.
Yeah, I saw that at the end that like grassy terrain ran out right as that turn that Garchomp was going to take its last attack, and I was like, oh shoot. But Garchomp ended up dying anyways from a life orb, but it was like really close.
Yeah, it was really close. I didn't know if you have a fire move. Yeah, I didn't know if you had a fire move on Garchomp or something.
No, I didn't bring a fire move this week.
Okay. Was there anything that, like, from either of you that was surprising the other brought, or did you basically expect this is what my opponent could probably bring, and I have answers for that? So was there anything that surprised you, either of you?
So from my angle, I was just wondering if Tapu Fini would have come along, just because of its bulk. Like if Max was trying to like wait out Gigas or something, that maybe Tapu Fini could do that. And so I wound up I didn't even run Protect on my Dialga because I was so worried about Tapu Fini, and I wanted to get the electric terrain. So I was debating about that. I would assume on my team, given how top heavy my draft is, it's really 6 out of 7.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I was expecting the Marowak to come just because it would underspeed the Calyrex. But so I was expecting that over the Articuno. That's about it. Everything else you assume you're going to bring.
So I had Marowak in until about 8:54 Eastern time, and then I quickly slapped in Articuno because I was like, well, maybe Air Slash is crafty. And I was like competitive, and I got the competitive boost in game 3 because I was like, well, he keeps leading Scrappy, let me get a competitive boost, but I didn't make use of it as well as I
Air
could.
Slash did not do too much in the draft.
Yeah. I was when you got the competitive boost, I got excited because I was like, oh, he's gonna max Articuno, but then I realized like I don't think max Articuno kills Porygon 2, and then you just Trick Room, and then recover, and then it's it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. And Scrappy with Crunch was doing significant damage also. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's why I passed on maxing, but I was like, at least the boost might. At least it got some damage into Porygon, and like I think it at least forced me to get a taunt, helped me get a taunt on it, and then it set up with Trick Room, my Grimmsnarl undersped the Scrafty, which I was actually, I think I ran minus speed on Grimmsnarl for that reason. But I actually think if you ran minus speed on Scrafty, it may underspeed Grimmsnarl.
Yeah, I actually wanted to overspeed you if you were no speed to get the fake out off faster if you had fake out.
Oh, that's pretty clever. All right.
That is really clever.
Yeah. So I had 20 speed.
So at no point in time when you guys were building your teams, you guys didn't consider, the last 4 Pokemon on your team? Because I would be curious to see what you would do with like an
Not
Abra.
one. That will never happen.
Or, Ghastly looks pretty fun. I'm not sure what you would do with Ghastly there.
Yeah, I honestly haven't even. I just drafted around Pokemon for the last couple. I did not actually think I'm going to bring them at some, maybe at some point, but just the other ones are so much better that it would be very hard for them to make
it. Right. All right, I have one more question. What do you guys think of the sprites?
They made me angry.
Me too. I'm looking at this. I'm like, Weezing. It looks like somebody drew 2 circles and then put specks of dust or something. And I was like, I if you didn't see the listing, you would never know what the heck that was. I mean, Garchomp was. I thought Garchomp was a nice one. But other than that, they were kind of like.
Yeah, Garchomp was cute. They turned Articuno into Frozone, I think, or whoever from The Incredibles. Yeah. Is that I've been trying to think of who it was this entire matchup, and I was like, I gotta stay focused on the matchup, but I can't turn away from this superhero character instead of.
It's a nice joke to have one day of the year, but
yeah.
Now I know next year to not play April Fool's Day.
Yeah,
exactly. I will say, if you do, G-Max Cinderace is hilarious. It's a rabbit on top of a bottle of Fireball.
That's funny.
It's so funny.
Oh man, that's good. All right, well, I think that's gonna wrap up the interviews with you guys for today. Thank you again for joining us and allowing us to record your match for this week.
Yeah, no problem. Every time I play Max, it's always a white knuckler. So
Yeah, it was couldn't have got much better than that one.
yeah.
All right, well, it's an
Yeah, that
awesome
was
3
a
games.
great matchup. Yep.
All right,
See you guys.
all right. Well, see you guys later. Thank you so much, and everybody else who's watching. Thanks for watching this week's video. We will catch you next week.